on 92.3 FM. You give us 22 minutes. We'll give you the world.
Good morning. It is 74 degrees, mostly cloudy now. 7:40 on Saturday, July 11th. Look at that, 74 degrees at 7:40. Gotta play those numbers today. I'm Brian Britton. Here's what's happening. Police investigating a deadly shooting in Harlem. Media reports say the victim is a Brooklyn native who most recently played professional basketball in Europe. This city still investigating that Legionnaires outbreak on the Upper East Side.
Already eliminated 19 of these serial buildings.
Now the Guggenheim Museum, the latest building determined to have an infected water tower. If you've noticed that the shelves are bare of Pepto and toilet paper, it's because hundreds of New Yorkers have been sick into cases of explosive diarrhea, likely linked to contaminated produce. President Trump of a late-night posting promising the total destruction of Iran if he should be assassinated. And casting has been announced for the latest stars of the docudrama following the McCarthy era. And the Red Scare will tell you who's joining the cast of Laurie Day. It's sports, Yankees win, Mets do not. Active weather intervals of clouds and sun, not as warm as yesterday. We do have a couple of thunderstorms on the way later. We're headed to a high at 81. It's news time, 7:41. Let's get to where you need to go. Here's Jody Bell.
Messy on the east side of Manhattan. That's a crash in a lane-blocked FDR northbound, jam-packed 116th Street. And those jams going back to East 79th. May want to take that exit there and take the locals or the west side. And getting crowded in the Bronx. Westbound Cross Bronx slowing down from Jerome Avenue to the GWB. The construction Deacon ramps, they're jam-packed too, both sides of the Cross Bronx. And here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels at the Hudson River crossings. Inbound George, that lower level construction, it's clearing out. The upper level is 5 to 10. In New Jersey, we're seeing the jam-ups building southbound New Jersey Turnpike. Right here, exit 71 with 4 Broad Avenue. That's road work. Has a lane block, express lanes, locals moving. And the outbound side of the George, road work slowdowns underneath the apartments, so good at 5 to 10 as well. Lincoln and Holland, minor delays both sides. Problem 3 at the East River crossings. And here's what we see on Long Island's Big 3, the LIE, Northern State, and Southern State. No troubles through Nassau and Suffolk counties. Jody Dale, 1010 Wings, 92.3 FM.
Chaos after a shooting in Harlem. One man is dead. Police tell 1010 Wings shots were fired in the back of 70 Lenox Avenue near the basketball courts of NYCHA's King Towers last night, Friday night, 10:30. 3 people in total were shot, one of them fatally. A 35-year-old man was shot on the head. A 28-year-old man was shot on the leg. A 22-year-old woman was shot in the arm. That 35-year-old man died in Morningside Hospital. The other 2 victims are in stable condition. Media reports say the dead victim is a Brooklyn native who played basketball for James Madison High School before playing for Globe Institute of Technology and then Fairleigh Dickinson. Keanu Rochford had been playing various European basketball leagues. Police have not yet confirmed that he is the victim. They also say they have no suspects and have made no arrests, but they are investigating. The storied Guggenheim Museum has been named as one of the 31 Upper East Side buildings where water cooling towers have tested positive for Legionella as the city continues to investigate a Legionnaire's disease cluster.
We're taking the most aggressive stance the health department and the city has ever taken by acting aggressively at the PCR stage. Okay, and ordering the full drainage, cleaning, and disinfection of those cooling towers.
Dr. Alistair Martin, the City Health Commissioner.
Mayor Mamdani says every cooling tower in the affected Upper East Side zip codes have been sampled and tested.
And that is alongside taking an aggressive posture where we have ordered every single one of those buildings to clean and disinfect their cooling towers on the basis of their initial testing results.
Reported cases are on the rise, but the health department says the problem does not go beyond the areas of zip codes 10075, 10028, and 10128. The mayor was asked if he'd consider free testing for concerned residents. He says he'd be looking into that. Juliet Pollard, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Well, if you've noticed that the Pepto shelves are bare, there's a reason. The guy's singing about it, though. Hundreds of New Yorkers are suffering from a nasty bout of explosive diarrhea because of cyclosporiasis, a parasite that can be found on unclean, fresh produce. And I'm not talking about just rinsing it off. We're talking unclean. Cyclospora is a parasite that is transmitted through consumption of food or water that is contaminated with feces. More than 30 states have reported the illness. New York is one of them. CDC has not yet determined where the outrage is coming from. Some restaurants, like Taco Bell, have stopped selling certain items there. They're holding back on some of the guacamole, some of the cilantro, until they can figure out where this parasite is coming from. As of midnight, the bill that President Trump refused to sign that will make it easier for Americans to obtain housing became a law.
That historic bill passed overwhelming bipartisan support aimed at lowering housing costs for Americans is law without the president's signature. Trump says he's refusing to sign it in protest over the fact that the United States Senate is not capable of passing the Save America Act, this sweeping voter ID law that would greatly restrict mail-in voting.
That is correspondent Selena Wang. Both the Senate and the House overwhelmingly passed the housing measure, with both Republicans and Democrats supporting it last month. Freedom Fuel, the gas stations promoted by the White House that promised to lower gas prices to put more money in your pocket, are already raising prices. The White House posting online about these new gas stations, promising prices of $3.47 a gallon in honor of the 47th president. But Gas Buddy, a fuel data network, shows they're charging at least 10 cents more per gallon at their locations. Now the White House says the Trump administration is not behind the Freedom Fuel network and has nothing to do with them. After once again declaring the ceasefire to be over, President Trump has agreed to yet another round of talks with Iran.
The U.S. ramping up its attacks this week, pounding more than 170 targets in Iran over 2 days. In response to Iran attacking commercial ships in the Strait of Hormuz. The threat from Iran is in part why President Trump flew home from the NATO summit in Turkey on the old Air Force One, officials saying there are differences in security capabilities with the new Qatari-gifted Air Force One.
That is correspondent Michael Ravage. Trump also posting on social media that if he should be assassinated by Iran, that 1,000 missiles are locked and loaded to, in his words, completely decimate and destroy all areas of Iran. Now, as to that jet, that Qatari-gifted Air Force One, the New York Times is calling the Trump Justice Department brazen after subpoenas were issued to Times journalists who wrote about those security concerns. Those concerns specified the new plane didn't have anti-missile capabilities and other security features that the old one did. Prior to the article being published, reports say a senior official at the FBI asked the Times to publish it, calling it an issue of national security. 1970s television star Randolph Mantooth is dead. Mantooth was perhaps best known for the character of Johnny Gage on the 1970s show Emergency. Following that, he appeared on several soap operas as well as guest starring roles on shows like Dallas, Charlie's Angels, The Love Boat, LA Law, Fantasy Island, Battlestar Galactica. TV Insider reports that Mantooth died of complications from cancer. Randolph Mantooth was 80.
New Jersey's got a lot of summer wow. We got your under the sun wows. Your this is too much fun wows.
No, yo ahí lo tengo.
Es bien importante y se lo digo de una vez, mi señora Mélida.
Sinclair would produce programming that is more reflective of many Americans' values than the networks currently provide. Sinclair has certainly been called out for imposing on their own affiliates changes in their news broadcast.
Move to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money, so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code MOVE to borrow up to $10,000. Use code MOVE to borrow up to $10,000.
Let's take a second to think back like this.
Black family, it's Mike Fox from Rap Fabulous, where hip-hop celebrates the music, the culture, and you. Lock in every Sunday from 5 to 7 p.m., where we dig deep into the throwbacks and more. Every weekend is a different theme. We've done the best of 97.
The Landmark Concert Series, live from some...
Alto. Son las causas más comunes de la disfunción eréctil que no...
Yo me quedé a media calle, pero creo que le di tutú. Yo creo que encajé.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
You've been entrusted with the keys to an incredible machine. Cars are an impressive feat of engineering that we take for granted every day, getting us from A to B. That's what they do. They take us places. But if you're speeding, you'll go places you never want to be. Getting a speeding ticket might seem like an inconvenience, but in reality, it's better than the alternative. When you speed, you risk your life, your passengers, and everyone else on the road. Because speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA.